Hello and welcome everybody back to another very wintry, very snowy and very cold podcast. Do you want to say hello, Ben?
Hey guys, Benny here as well. We made the podcast before. We haven't uploaded them yet, but we're just going to start doing it now.
So it is the winter. It's very frosty outside and we have our warm beverages.
It's so cold. Never been this cold before. Really.
Welcome. I know, yeah, exactly. So welcome back to the Cheeky Devil podcast, guys. And we're just going to jump into a few different topics. I was thinking we can just jump straight into it. Ben had something really interesting to say about the winter and day gaming in the winter and what our experience has been like over the last sort of week. You know, it's been very, very cold in England.
Really fucking low.
And at the moment, we've been practically snowed in. Well, my motivation isn't low at all, but
maybe mine. I had burnout before, as I was saying. Yeah, I just didn't have the passion for it because I've done it for nearly 3 years now. And the weather,
interesting.
Yeah, burnt out. I needed to take some time off, and my motivation comes back way more when the weather's better. Like in the spring and summer, I've got all the energy, to want to go out and do it. But in this weather, it's just very hard.
Yeah. So you had something really interesting to say about your theory of day gaming in this weather.
I had a theory that, I've observed it over time, that it's like animals. For example, squirrels. If you look at mammals, during the winter seasons they hibernate. They don't go out and mate. They want to stay in and find, for example, relating to day game, girls in the winter will tend to stay around with a boyfriend, or guys will find a girlfriend and sort of stay with them during the winter seasons. It's like squirrels or whatever, they will stay with their mate and hibernate during the winter seasons. But come the summer and spring, girls become very horny. If you notice, they walk around with their skirts on. They're trying to show off. The weather's good. They're in a good mood.
Definitely true.
They're in a good mood. They're swaying their hips. They're more horny. They're more open to being fucked, basically. Mm-hmm. But during the winter season, you're going to get a lot more flakes if you go out. Girls are not going to want to come out because of the shit weather, and they'll be with their boyfriend, or if they had an ex, they'll get back with him. Mm. But then during coming the summer, spring, there's going to be less flakes. Girls are way more open to being approached. Their mood is better. There's less flakes. But what I'm finding in the winter season, I've noticed, is girls, if you go on a date, they will likely flake because they just can't be asked to come out in this weather, and they'll either be back with their ex-boyfriends or they'll just be hibernating. So it is possible, of course, but it's a lot more tricky and you're more prone to being flaked on. That's my
very interesting theory there. Absolutely, because obviously day game is amazing and it's something you are to be doing all year round, of course. But the cold, harsh reality is that it is harder to day game in the winter. And that is not to say that you shouldn't be doing it. In fact, a key to day game, I think, is
consistency, isn't it?
Consistency. The consistency to build the habit.
It's like
which
the
means
gym. You don't want to. Yeah.
No. Yeah. You wouldn't stop doing the gym in the winter.
No. It's even reason more to do it, because then the skill set will get better. But yeah, it's definitely, you need to take breaks, especially if you're like Jordan. But if you've done it for quite a long time, yeah, it's important to take time off, because I got burnt out, especially in the winter. Focus on your business. Put your attention elsewhere, but still, as he said, you need to keep that kind of consistency, but it's a balance, because sometimes you need to take time off the game and put it into your business life and elsewhere to become a more attractive man. And that's what I'm doing. But at the same time, come summer and spring, I want to be out there, in the field, as they say,
very interesting.
It's fucking awesome, man. And travel, but you got to have your business life handled.
Very interesting what you said about the summer. In fact, the viewers, the listeners of this podcast might be able to feel the same. Like, have you ever noticed, especially if you if you live in America, like countries like that are hot, America and those types of countries, when girls in the summertime, like when it's hot weather, girls tend to dress completely differently, and they'll wear practically nothing, and that's a complete different sort of environment to women that are wrapped up warm, in the winter, and they're just rushing from one place to the other. They don't want to be outside at all for longer than they need to be, whereas in the summer, it's complete opposite.
Yeah, they're definitely more horny.
You can literally sense the horniness from them. You see a woman walking along the street in winter, she's wrapped up warm, she's got a scarf around her, horrible facial expression on her face, a facial expression of complete agony and pain.
So the guys will be asking, what is the alternative? The only alternative, I'm afraid, in the winter, as some guys might know, is you go indoors, you go in shopping malls. But unfortunately, I had a bad experience recently in a shopping mall. Especially if you live in a small town, guys, you know, you've got to be calibrated. You have to have social awareness because, as you know, these white knights, these security people are bored out of their minds, and if they see you approaching, they will get jealous. They might even try and cock block you. Like in Victoria's Secret, I got cock blocked the other day
by some angry feminist security. It was actually a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah, she asked me to leave, and I've seen other guys have this, but I just kind of walked off. Especially if you live in a small town, you've got to be even more calibrated. In London, New York, you're fine. You can go in any shops. There's unlimited, abundance. But if you're in a small town, in the winter, you have to go inside, go in shopping malls. But yeah.
And there's you being legendary, completely going and doing the hardest approaches, approaches in shops, approaches in high pressure areas. You do it in coffee shops, and there you tried Victoria's Secret approaching, which you're used to. You've done it before, but you're keeping your skill set, high. By doing it in any environment, and you're putting the effort in and motivating yourself, and then there's always someone or something to put you down. So the best thing is to motor through it and to continue.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, I want to take some time off because I'm a bit, as I said before, I'm more excited to do Daygame in London and other new places because I've done it in Brighton a lot. And as you know, it's a small place, so you do it in the same streets, the same shops, and you can get really bored of it. So my motivation does come back if I take a bit of time off, or I'll tell you what, my motivation comes well fucking high come the summer and spring when the weather's good and there's all these foreign chicks coming into Brighton, all these new foreign students. That is when my passion comes back.
Summer's going to be so good,
but the passion to go out right now in this shit weather with no girls out.
Which brings me to the positive point, which we wanted to kind of end this podcast on, really, which is the focus of this podcast, is to look at always the positive sides of things, the positive sides of everything. And the summertime is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to that so much. But I think it's always good to keep consistency in the winter if possible. And for example, I did an approach the other day, and it was actually really good. And it was the coldest fucking day. And I was actually in a supermarket. The girl was amazing.
Exactly.
She was Latina, and
But you do get more flakes. That is true, because in the summer, and I've noticed, if I look at my results, all my lays, all my results, they all started coming. Like, I got the most lays and stuff around spring and summer, autumn. In the winter, it can happen, but it's just harder.
So have you got a positive note to end that on?
Yeah, just keep going out, get a wing or whatever who will motivate you through it. But yeah, sometimes you need to take time off, especially if you've done it a long time. Like me, but remain.
Like for me, the Daygame journey is just beginning, and I feel so excited for the spring, incredibly excited for the summer. I cannot wait see what it has in store for us this year. For me, it's going to be an incredible year. It's going to be probably my best year of Daygame. It's more focused
on business and travel, but I can't wait till the summer and spring because that'll be awesome. But if you focus on becoming a more high value man in all areas of your life, you will become more attractive. So focus on developing your emotional, spiritual, financial, mental, all these areas. But in the beginning, as a beginner, you've got to immerse yourself. I've already done that. So now I'm focusing on business, and then I can move to London. But can't wait till the summer, man. Brighton will be good again.
Awesome, great. Well, that was probably be it for this brief little podcast. And I'm still getting results in the winter, having done approaches, and I feel amazing for that, but far less than in summer. But it just feels great, that you have results in the winter, and so that's a great positive to end by.
Watch your lay count go through the roof, guys, if you go out in the summer. Thailand, awesome.
Amazing.
Girls' moods are just better. That's what I've noticed. They're much, much more receptive. They are way more friendly. They're way more open to being approached. But if you try and stop a girl in -2 degrees in Brighton on the street, she just wants to get to the bus stop, you know, or she just wants to. Yeah,
That is true.
Yeah, it's more tricky.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for the awesome advice, Ben, as usual. And we'll see you guys in the next instalment of the Cheeky Daygame podcast. So thank you guys for listening. Okay. That was your version of bye-bye. That was a very good bye-bye. Oh.